Alright, it's about time I did a video of my Battle of Alberta run. This is a 2-day 3-gun match in Alberta. There's all the volunteers, including myself, who ran this match in June. First stage is shotgun only. We have a large shotgun area at Chaz, so we typically run a couple of shotgun only stages. We had a stage gun in this instance that was a single shot, so we had to take 2 shots from up on the tower with the single shot on some poppers and then kind of head back down. Then we would grab our shotgun from the bucket and make some shots on both sides. I think in terms of performance on this, it was okay. Could have been a little bit faster. I was running some new 8-up MGs from Tacom for this match, and I didn't quite, I don't know if it's an adjustment thing, I didn't have them quite right, and I ended up having some handfuls of garbage when I was trying to load my shotgun, and it hurt me a little bit on this stage, but not that bad. And on the second stage after this, I just went to a different shell caddy, so you can see a little bit of fumbling there. That's just because the shells are a little bit jumbled in my hands. Now on this second stage, we had to shoot from this shaky platform. Didn't turn out to do too much for me. I doubled on both sides. I think I left one clay out there, but who cares? That's not worth worrying about. My quad loads went well. More or less, what I was trying to do for this match was to shoot cleanly the whole way through. So I wanted low penalties, I didn't want to forget anything, and I didn't want to DQ because that's a terrible thing to happen on a big 2-day match like this. So I was dialing it back by, let's say, like 5 or 10%. Oh, I had way too many misses on that star. Like I gotta remind myself, misses on the shotgun cost time in reloading. I like to go fast, but it takes time to reload too. These are far shots, and I go 1 for 1 on them. I forgot to record stage 3. I had a nice clean run. Now stage 4 had a couple of different things you could do. There was some rifle still you had to do, some shotgun, and some pistol closer in. So you kind of had to do your rifle and shotgun from the back here. Once you were done, move forward with your pistol. So rifle was all fine. I could have reloaded on the move here instead of standing reloads and then running and then reload after that again. But whatever. With the shotgun, I overloaded on my slugs. I put way too many slugs in, and I totally didn't need them because I made all my hits with my shotgun. So you'll see here that I pull my shotgun out. I'm going to pump one at this guy. I should have ran all the way to the dump in there instead of stopping in the middle here. Just one extra position. Hit, and now I had to dump 2 slugs into the berm because and then I only had 4 bird shot in the stupid thing. So I should have gave myself 1 extra bird shot and only 1 extra slug instead of, 2 of the slugs because I obviously didn't need them. My pistol shooting here wasn't the best. Like the accuracy was fine, but what I found is that I'm not really thinking. I'm just kind of like moving and shooting some more. Not really thinking about where I needed to place my feet, when would be smart to reload. I could have been shooting those on the move. I didn't need to stick and move there, and it could have been a lot faster. I spent a little bit more time breaking down stage 5 before I shot it, so I think that when I went to execute this one, it was a lot better. I ran up to this one position, made my shots, and then quickly moved to the next one. I'm not sure if I'm reloading right now or not. I should be, if I'm not. And this stuff was all fine here. In case you're counting on my pistol, I'm using 40 cal mags, so they'll fit 13 instead of the 10. And I think this was definitely the right way to I was surprised that more people didn't shoot this stage in this style, because this was, in my opinion, the right way to shoot it. Now I'm going to go to my shotgun. And again, I overloaded on slugs. There's 1, 2, and I didn't need the 3rd, but I shot it anyways. And then I got all those guys. And now just moving to the rifle to clean up. So the advantage to shooting this stage this way and that was that I was able to do it pretty much mostly from the one position. And there's one spot here. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to actually look behind me just to make sure that there's no RO or whatever when I start getting ready right after this target. Take a step back and just squeak one through that crack there. Now in stage 6, you had to start off. I had a real weird. I don't know what that was all about. I didn't hit anything. I didn't feel like a limp wristed or whatever. Kept the gun nice and high. Make sure I'm not sweeping my body as I'm getting out of the car. and getting DQ'd. Don't want to do that. I could have went a little bit closer to the line here. This is like, keep in mind, GoPro wide angle lens. It looks like I'm miles away from the line when I'm probably like one step away. But I could have been a little bit closer. And I just wailed on these headbox targets just to be extra clear. Rifle, I like this target display, this the drop and then the swinger. I could have went right to left instead of left to right and then back in, but whatever. Who cares? And then I got to work on the rifle stuff. Now, one thing that I could have done a little bit better on these was not stick with shakier positions. Up high on this far left one, because it's kind of like in the, there's bush in between, but I should have got lower down for these other ones here. And it would have been, there I go. And it's just like a lot steadier the lower you can go. And it would have helped for those long range shots. And they're tough. These are out to about 400 meters. Shooting them with a red dot is a little bit hard because, you know, it's just not as easy as with a scope, but still totally doable. Ugh, I hate to see a reload right at the end of a string like that, because especially when you're crouched down, it's so slow to reload. And of course, you make your hits. Now the next one started day 2, and day 2 my knees were just screwed, so I'm hobbling like like an old man this whole time. Same deal as day before. We were starting off with a stage gun on the shotgun. It flipped out a little bit there on me. So a couple of poppers, and then head out, grab your shotgun. Day 2 I'm moving pretty slow here. Breached the door. I actually missed the target, so I just kicked it open. If you watch that in slow-mo, I didn't sweep my foot. And then we had these dual, I don't know what you call them, whirligigs or Texas Stars or whatever we call them, behind barrels. So made for a really challenging, really random set of circumstances that you might face. I like my quad loads there. Those are all looking good. And the shooting wasn't even that bad. Again, you only see like little partial views of the steel, so it's kind of tough. Last shot, I felt like, I think I've got them all, so I'll just keep going. Got a little bit of a mishandle on those ones, and I cleared them, so time to move on to the clays. And the one clay didn't flip up very high, so I missed it. This is my last stage of the day. Kind of a scenario stage. You started in a seat. You had to kind of shoot off some rifle targets, and then kind of head in and grab your quote unquote like downed buddy and shoot your way out of the building, which is kind of an interesting mix. You can see that we had a mix of kind of pure stages along with some scenario stuff like this. So the challenge here was making sure that you didn't miss any of the targets and make sure you got out clean. So there I got my rifle down, picking up my pistol. I'm looking around a little bit too much in here. This all had to be shot single-handed, so you all had to have the dummy in your hand. Now, if you look on the right there, I shot the one pistol target, and I didn't shoot the other one, that other head box. It had a shadow on it, and for whatever reason, I just discounted it completely as a target, which was kind of silly. There's my reload, and thankfully I remembered to pick up the dummy. Again, shooting targets without the dummy in your hand would be a procedural. And the rest of this was just single-handed, off on those shots on the left. And then once you got the dummy into the box, you could use both hands on the last target. So I got the dummy full into the box and got off my last 2 hits. Now there was a risky thing I did here. I tried doing the spinner from long range. Now you'll notice here I nailed that auto popper. It fell down and then it came back up. You'll notice that later on. So by taking these shots from here, I didn't have to go another base with a shotgun. I could just do it all in one spot. Now I can go on and do my rifle and just move one base with that. And then I'm going to try to do the rest just with my pistol, just to keep the bases down, keep the movement down, and not hobble like an old man. So now I'm running back with my rifle. I've already got it on safe, and I've got it pointed down range. And I can go to my pistol. So there's that one target. And then I can just kind of come around. So this is a fast way of shooting this stage. Now see me looking back at that auto popper to the right because I thought I hit it, but it's up and it's just irking me. And every time I've got to reload my pistol, I'm going to look back at that thing and just be like, is that still up? Do I still have to get that one? I don't want to get an FTE. I don't want to get those 10-second penalties. I want to shoot a clean match. So you'll see you're actually told the RO, I'm coming back. And he's like, yeah, I know. So I came back, and I'm pretty sure I hit that target, but whatever. Now it's hit for sure. Now, stage 10 was pretty clean. I forgot to record it. I think the only thing to mention would be that I got some of the knockdown plates on the left with my shotgun. Now, stage 11 had a lot of movement. And like this, I don't know how this looks on GoPro. This was super slow. This is like a very light jog. And I'm actually not making very good hits here. I'm getting like maybe one in the alpha kind of thing on these targets. So they're all clean, but it was not a good showing of shooting these things on the move. Oh, it was ugly. And even the standing shots at the end here on the steel were also really slow, barely moving. Again, I got to do something about my knees. I got to take care of myself. I'm getting old. So we take these steel targets at the end, put the rifle on safe. I swapped it to kind of port arms with the barrel facing to my right. This is actually a very short run here, but I'm not moving very fast, and it's painful to watch because I know how fast that ground can be covered and how much time I'm leaving on the clock right now. But I guess I get to the car well rested and able to make those long range shots. Right now, one interesting thing about this stage was that there was a bonus target on the right that was worth 20 seconds, but you could only take one shot at it. And after like taking the shots at the longer range stuff, it felt pretty quick and easy to me making that last one. So that was a real interesting thing to see. And if you look real carefully, you can see someone put a round through the top of that car. So someone took a pretty stiff penalty for that then, because we've got a special penalty just for the car in our 3-gun league. And finally, you dump your rifle, go to pistol, and take out the rest of these targets. So even though like my movements were pretty slow, I did shoot a nice clean match and ended up getting second and limited at the match. So pretty good result as far as I'm concerned.